Morning, you guys, it's Karen, and I thought I would come and give you a little migraine update. As I said over on my other channel, I'm in this room because the sun is so bright in my study that I can't film. It's literally like all you can see is a shadow of me. And if I pull the blinds down, then it's too dark. And then I normally would then go into the dining room, but Kev's got all the paperwork over, he's got all of the paperwork for his mum and dad over on the dining table because Kev's mum passed away this week on Monday. I spoke about it on Instagram, and I've spoken about it on my other video on the other channel. His dad's in hospital and his mum passed away, unfortunately. So it's been a horrendous week for Kev, and for us, it's just been extremely sad. Anyway, I wanted to come and tell you about my migraine because I've been kind of putting it off, and you guys are probably wondering what's been happening. And I think, what's the last video I did? I need to check it. Yeah, I couldn't remember if I told you about the kind of upturn, you know, with Gabapentin and it actually starting to work, but I had. So I spoke to you a month ago and gave you an update. So just to give you another update, I guess, that it's still going well. I have been slowly increasing. So I had an increase from 300 in the morning and lunchtime to 400, so with another 100. And as soon as I take that extra 100, it feels like I'm drunk. It's bizarre. But it only lasted 2 weeks. It only took 2 weeks to get over those side effects, you know. So then I've increased it another 100, and I'm now on 500 milligrams in the morning and 500. No, I haven't increased it at lunchtime yet because I did increase it. It's only been 2 weeks that I've been on this 500 dose, and last week I added one in at lunchtime, and I honestly, Kev came home and I was like, oh, thank God you're home, I'm flipping wasted. I said, it feels like I'm wasted, and what's I needed to go for a walk, you know. And I said, I definitely can't drive anywhere, but I was like, you know, staggering all over the place. It's almost dangerous for me to get off the sofa because it really makes and I'm clumsy at the best of times, but I'm literally like knocking into things. I can't even stand, and I'm like falling over, you know. So I stopped after that and didn't take the other one at lunchtime. And I thought I'll wait until the morning, until I've got used to the side effects for the morning ones, and then I'll add one at lunchtime. So that's in a couple of days. I'm going to add in 100 milligrams at lunchtime, so that I'll be on 500 milligrams in the morning, 500 at lunchtime, and 600 at night. So I'm giving it kind of 2 weeks and just doing that 100. I think you need to do it, you know, really slowly. Then if that stays, once I've got over the side effects of that, I'm going to ask for a 300 milligram tablet, so that I will be on 600 milligrams. That means I just have to take 2 tablets instead of 3 tablets. And I definitely think I need to go up to the next dose. There's way higher dose I can be on. You can go up to, I think it's 1200 in a single dose. And like I said, I'm not on even half of that. But I thought if I'm on 600 3 times a day, that would be pretty even. Although I'm also tempted to ask for more at night because the nighttime dose is just not working. I'm waking up at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning because I'm taking it at 7 o'clock at night. I'm taking it with my dinner because I'm eating food. You know, even if I delay it till 9 o'clock, then I'm not going to sleep until later. And then, I don't know, it's not giving me enough sleep. And the hot flushes are coming through still at night. I'm sweating. And I can't sleep, you know, the whole insomnia thing that it's supposed to help with. It's kind of a side thing that I'm taking it for at night, you know. God, I'm a complex thing, aren't I? But I'm delighted to say that it's, yeah, not only the side effects wearing off quickly, it's working when I'm not on a tramadol day, which is normally the only days I get pain relief. But it's working to a point. It's not 100%. I'm not at the point where I can... could I have a phone call? I probably could today, though my voice at the moment is hurting my head, but it's bearable. But like today, for example, I don't have any tramadol in my system. I'm able to film, you know, I'm able to go around and do housework. I can do everything except, would I go out and drive? Yeah, I probably would drive depending on how I feel after filming, because sometimes filming can make me feel a little bit dizzy. But like I said, I wouldn't do the phone calls because when the voice is right, you know, when you've got the phone up there and the voice is right in your ear, even on speakerphone, it's a bit tinny. It's just too much, you know. And like I said, my own voice, I can kind of feel it is bothering me, but it's way better than before. I've gone from being, you know, just almost sofa/bedridden to being able to do things. And it's amazing, you know, it's really amazing. I feel like I can make plans. I do need to be careful that I don't get too down on and too disappointed when I get these days that aren't great, because it's definitely not 100% of the time that this is working. Or is it working 100% on the day, you know, but I'm getting way more days than I did before. Before, I was having like maybe 2 days a month where I could function. And even on tramadol days, it would only be a short window that it would last. You know, the pain relief would last. And now I'm okay all day long. Like I've said to Kev, like I've only lay down once during the day in the last couple of weeks, which normally that would be every single day. At some point I would need to lie down. At some point my head would be really bad. Whereas I can go for most of the day on a tramadol day. And on a day like today where I'm not taking tramadol, there is this what's called breakthrough pain, which is I tried to cover with the tramadol on the other day. And breakthrough pain is a big thing in gabapentin. And I remember doing a study, and there is a study published where it's better to take it 4 times a day. But whether or not, I think the neurologist will be able to say that it's okay to take it like that. But whether or not the GP will, I don't know. Because breakthrough pain is a big thing with gabapentin, as you'll know. If you're on pregabalin, I imagine it's the same. I can't remember, but I imagine it's the same. You know, it takes a couple of hours to kick in, and it only lasts in your system for 4 or 5 hours. And so I take it in the morning at 6:30, and I need to take it again at 11:30, because otherwise I start feeling it about 1 o'clock, you know. Regarding my neurologist, really annoying. This is so annoying. It's not specifically the neurologist's fault, but do you remember I told you I had an appointment in July? I went to the appointment and was told that he was on holiday and they had cancelled my appointment and sent me a letter, but I had never received a letter. So they remade my appointment, but they didn't have anything before January 2025. So 7 months away or 6 months away, something like that. So I had this appointment in January. I'd made sure that Kev was off so that he could be here for Watson or drive me if necessary, you know, if I couldn't drive. And then I got a letter last week and it said, the NHS are changing the way they're doing appointments. So they've cancelled my appointment and they will make it nearer the time. And I was like, this is absolutely crazy, because I was actually due it in July. So if you're just changing the way you've made appointments, you make appointments, surely you would have an appointment that you could give me, you know, but they've obviously not. They obviously think that my appointment is due in January and just don't want to make them that far in advance anymore. But I mean, I kind of need them quite far in advance so that I can get Kev to make sure he's home, because they're normally at 4 o'clock, you know, when Watson's here, and I'm not going to leave him for the 3 hours that it would take, because it takes me an hour each way, you know, to drive, and then I'm there for a while. So that's annoying. And of course I could phone them, but I tend not to make phone calls because of my head, you know, but being a bit better now, I might be able to phone them. I need to kind of add it onto my list, but I've just got so many things to do at the moment. I suppose the fact that I'm filming today with no tramadol, that is a huge improvement. It does mean I might be able to get some more videos up, you know, depending on how things go in the next few weeks, because like I said, we just don't know, you know, Kev's got so much to do, I can't tell you. And he already works, you've heard me say before, he leaves the house at 6:30 and he gets in at 7:30, you know. We have dinner, there's barely time to sit down and catch up with him, and that's the day done. But he's got loads to do for his mum with her passing. She was such a vivacious person, and she had so much going on in her life. Like she was involved in the brownies and the guides, and so she's the treasurer for many things. She's the treasurer for the Guiding Association and whatnot. So we've got to find who to transfer all this money to, you know, and who's going to take that over. She was part of a church community group thing, and there's all sorts of things that she's, like I said, treasurer for or in charge of, or many things that need to be done. He's got to try and sell his dad's car. I know that he's got to go and clear the gutter. I don't know when he's going to be able to do that. That's something he used to do anyway for his dad. But, you know, there's all of these things he's got to do for his mum having passed. And as soon as we get the death certificate, he'll need to arrange the funeral. And between him and his brother, they'll need to arrange the funeral and start all the process of, you know, filling in everything online. There is this tell you once system, but I didn't find it worked personally. You know, where you're supposed to go to this government thing, fill in that they've died, and it lets everybody know. Well, it did eventually let everybody know, but it took months. I ended up just doing it all myself, you know. the banks and everything. Settling any bills, you know, there's household bills that Kev needs to sort out. And also he needs to be going in to visit his dad, taking things into his dad that he needs, getting, you know, clothes and things that he needs. We've been setting him up with a new tablet, you know, setting him up with a new phone so that he's got contact with us. And then obviously figuring out what's going to happen to his dad depending on how he is. He's currently in a rehab unit, so that's given us some hope that they might be able to get him, you know, up and walking about. So there's a lot going on. Anyway, that's everything to tell you. I hope that you guys are well. I hope that you guys that have migraines are also finding your solutions. I know that a lot of you have, and I know that some of you have been suffering for years and years and years. So I just can't even imagine. Like, I was at the end of my tether, really at the end of my tether with this, and just feeling like there was no solution, you know, and yet here we are, the last kind of hope, and it started working. So ironic really, because gabapentin was a drug I said I'd never take because of the research I did in the hospital, and because I've had friends that suffered with it, you know, really badly, mental health wise. My dad wasn't good on it physically or mentally. Although he ended up taking it. My dad ended up taking 300 milligrams that night, and it worked for his leg pain. It was for his diabetic neuropathy. Anyway, that's everything. Thank you so much for watching. I'll speak to you again soon.